What's going on? What up, family? Let me wait for a few of y'all to get on real quick. How's y'all's day going? How's y'all's day? This is one of my random lives that I'm doing. We got one coming up tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, so y'all be ready for that. Tomorrow's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna be bringing Tommy on. She's a friend of mine here in Houston. She just opened a rehabilitation service business, and we're gonna be talking about rehabilitation, the rehabilitation industry, in and out, speech therapy, occupational therapy, the whole nine. Tag CPA, how are you? How are you? Thank you for coming on, Jolu. What's going on, man? Melissa, how are you? But yeah, it's one of my random lives. We're gonna wait a few minutes, have some people come on. Um, I was like, you know what? The kids aren't here yet. They'll be here in probably about 30 to an hour. Let me just slide one of these lives in here real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, I see y'all trickling in slowly but surely. What's going on?
What's going on?
Arnita Johnson Hall.
Oh wait, my phone is blurry. I let replay on my phone earlier.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wipe the camera real quick.
Sorry.
Yo, when's the last time we did a live? I want to say it was last year
Yeah,
and
I
during the
definitely
pandemic.
believe last year sometime. Hold on 1 second.
I had about 6 people, no, about 5 people in here. Then Arnita comes on, and it's about 100 of y'all. They're just flooding. Welcome to all y'all that are coming in. We're gonna let Arnita clean up her.
Okay.
Okay, she's back. She's back. What's going on?
Nothing much. About to get some work done. Took a little break,
Yeah,
and I'm about to get back at it.
nice, nice.
What you
I
got
remember the
going on
last
over there?
time. Say what?
I said, what you have going on over there?
Enjoying the last few minutes before these kids come running through the door. Yeah, you already know how that goes. I was like, let's see how many minutes of live I can get in before they
Man,
come in the house.
these kids are no joke.
Not at all. They do not play.
Mine are in the oldest sister room, so
Yeah,
it
it
might.
sounds quiet on your end.
Oh yeah, because I needed to work today, so I kicked the twins out of my office, and I was like, "Listen, I gotta work. Y'all gotta get out of here." And I meant business. And me and Leela had went over a lot of stuff, and we got a lot done in about 3 hours, literally, because just by kicking them out of my office, I got a lot of work done.
That's amazing. I mean, it's not that you had to kick them out the office, but that you got a lot of work done. You
Yes, I
know,
got a lot done. And I was, and it's crazy because I usually feel bad about kicking them out, but I was like, if I really want to be productive, I got to kick them out of here.
right,
Still trying to
right.
like control. I was still trying to run the house from my office. If I hear somebody crying, what's going on in there? Who doing this? Who doing that? But yeah, I feel very productive today.
I love it. I always say, I don't know how you do it, how you juggle the 1,500 businesses that you have, the
5 kids.
kids, friends, husband, all the whole nine. Like, how do you do it and stay sane?
You know
Like,
what's crazy today? So my mom is the mailroom coordinator, and
mhm.
Leela's the operations manager. So she was like, "Hey, this is for anyone who has family working for them, especially their mother. Um, it's very difficult to like getting stuff out of my mom is like pulling strings. Like she's real defiant, know it all, aggressive. So Leela is
Right.
always asking her like, "Hey, huh? I look pretty, thank you." She's always asking her, what are you doing on a daily basis? Let me know are you working on your priority list? And my mom is always saying, I'm working overtime. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I'm always. And I was like, okay, so Today I got on the phone with Lila. I'm like, hey, we need to break this down. I need to figure out what she does 8 hours out of the day. I'm trying to figure out why is it that she's working overtime. We got to figure this out. So this has been going on for months. We got on a meeting on a conference call, and I was like, hey, you got a few minutes. I need to know, are you working alongside of your priority list? And what are you doing throughout the day? When is your downtime? What are you doing during your downtime? Why is it that you even have downtime? And I'm her daughter, but also her boss. And I could tell that she was getting aggressive with me.
Right.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out what is going on because we are looking to hire to get you some help in the mailroom, like you've asked.
Right.
So why are you now being aggressive with me trying to assist you? For when she was like, well, so I'm asking her questions, and she was like, well, you the boss. And I'm like, hold on, mom. I
Right.
know that. But you don't have to give me this energy. So I
Right.
didn't say that, but I'm still keeping it professional, and I'm still just asking questions, taking those, writing things down. So finally, we got off the phone, and Lila was like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that you was able to get something out of her. Like, I've been trying to do it for months." And I was telling her, like, Lila, although she's like a mother-in-law to you, she is still your employee. And if I have to come to you about trying to figure out what she does on a day-to-day basis, then that's the issue with me and you. So it's important that no matter who they are, you need to make sure what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. And you need to, ensure that you are being an authoritator when trying to figure out, what's going on. Because I don't want to have those conversations with you as far as like what she is and is not doing. And when I'm trying to figure out what everybody's duties are and if they're staying on top of their priority, something falls on the wayside. And during that 1 hour conversation, I was able to get a lot out of her and to figure out a lot of things that I kind of figured was happening, but to also help us work, more efficient. So when I was trying to explain it to her, she was aggressive at first, but then she kind of calmed down and was like, you know what? You're right. I get it. So I'm just telling you, baby, if your mama worked for you.
See, I have a question for everybody that's listening. Have y'all ever managed somebody or hired someone that's older than you, and how do you handle that whole dynamic? Like, how does that work? And were they significantly older than you to where they could have been your parents' age? Were they your parents, right? How do you make sure that, hey, like, we're family, but work is being done, things are being done in a timely manner, things aren't really falling off? I can imagine that's like a very difficult thing, you know.
It's touchy.
And some people are
Especially,
saying yes, they have been in that situation.
yeah,
If y'all can
it's
touch on that in the comments, let me know like the details of that.
yeah, especially even when it comes to having to fire or
Woo!
family and friends and then
Man,
fire family and friends. It's rough and it can take you down if you let it. And that's why I said no more family and friends.
right.
I'm over that. I
Yeah.
don't have no parts of that anymore. Just even for my own sake. Jazz said I just had a staff who was just fired who was the same age as her mom.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, Devin had a good one, especially when they are set in their ways. My
Mm,
yes, my mother is very set up in her ways and does not like change.
right.
And she also was not comfortable with some because she said that she's working a lot, she's putting in a lot of hours, she has to do a lot. So I said, okay, well, let me take some of that responsibility off of you. So to take some of those responsibilities off and give it to her granddaughter, that was also an issue for her. Like,
Right.
hold on, so you mean to tell me that my granddaughter can do exactly what?
Right.
So I think also it's that factor of having younger people working up under them or also being able to do some of the same duties that they have or the same qualifications. Now it's like a 59-year-old woman, a 15-year-old has the same qualifications as her. When I look at
Oh,
it, it's
yeah.
just a duty, and I know it's not just the mailroom because it's a huge responsibility in the mailroom. But I think also just, you know, how it is, in the workforce. It's still a workforce, where we are.
Right.
So you have to be very sensitive, when dealing with older people in the workplace.
Right. Tell me what's going on. Yeah, yeah. No, that's and Tommy actually can speak to this because I remember him telling me that he's had people that were older than him that he had to manage. And there's a whole dynamic there, right? And like you said, and then even when you look at, because I don't even know if you started doing this, but in a lot of companies, they're measuring the performance, right, of their employees. So if you have someone that's older and they may not be performing at the same level as someone else that's younger, that tends to be one of the reasons why, they might shift them out of there, and that's messed up, but these things happen within business, and it's like, how do you handle all that?
Can I ask my school? No, you had ice cream already. I even told my mom, why not, just retire and I still pay you your salary, or
She didn't want to retire.
I gave her this option since 2019.
What was her reasoning?
She likes what she does and she doesn't want to be bored.
Right.
She's engaged. She's set to be married in September. And I said, you don't want you and your husband to travel or no. I really like what I do. It keeps me busy. I don't want to be the grandma working at Walgreens. So I might as well
Yeah.
work here. That's
Yeah.
that's how she feels. And she has a sense of, she loves what she does. She's very dedicated to it. But I told her, Mama, go ahead and retire. The pay will stay the same. Go,
But
mm-mm.
think about it. If she retires, like you said, what is she gonna go do?
You need to be watching your grandkids, is what you need to be doing. But since you don't want to do that, then go travel, go shop. Your house is paid for. Your car is almost paid off. I mean,
Does
you
does
got
your
a whole.
mom does she travel internationally a lot?
My mom don't even have a passport.
So that might be another thing. It might be something that's like, yeah, I don't know if I really want to. I'm not comfortable
Right.
around her.
She's homebody, introverted. I
Right.
like, you know, I can see myself for her a lot. Just somebody that's really cool with being in the house.
Right.
But for me, I would like the point of just that. But I'm a workaholic too, and I love to work. So I get it. But I really feel like at 59 years old, I'm not trying to work. So I'm really hoping and praying that one of these kids retire me so that I
Arnita,
can
59 for us is not too far.
for you. But that's about 30 years for me. Her husband also works for the company as well. Her husband works in the mailroom with her. So I would think that, and he loves working,
Yeah.
for us as well. So I think too, for them, it keeps them busy. It gives them something to talk about. It gives them something to look forward to every day. So I get it, but her husband is very open to change. Well, her fiance, but he's an amazing guy, very open to change. But my mom's just not so much, But so you have to work around that. And I'm really big, especially in the working world, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, okay, because there's a difference between the two. You have to meet them where they are. And that's not always easy, especially if you're someone that's easy paced, a fast worker, easy to adapt. And I'm someone who's very easy to adapt to change. So when you're dealing with somebody who's not so easy, then it can be a challenge. But again, you have to meet them where they're at. And I'm not a micromanager. Leela's not a micromanage.
I'm not either. Yeah.
So
Well,
I trust that you're doing right.
I'm not a micromanager if you've proven yourself, right? Like if I know that I don't got to worry about you, then I'm not even gonna micromanage you. Then if I know that if you've dropped the ball a few times, then it's like,
Then I got to get in there.
then I gotta get in that ass. It's just one of those things.
And I believe it. You know what's interesting is I think for me, because I seem so calm that when I do start digging in your ass, it's like, hold on, this is a yeah, because I really think if I hire you to do a job, I don't have to. But what I'm doing now that I'm so grateful for is I'm putting that chain of command there. I once had it where I felt like when I was an employee working for an employer, and the head man and the boss would say, "Hey, don't eat and mingle and socialize with the ones at the bottom." Well, the employees would be like, "Oh, y'all bougie. Y'all think y'all all that." And I understand now why that is an ultimate no. And I wanted to be different. I wanted to be the one who was like, hey, although I'm the founder, the CEO or whatever, I want to be able to talk to my employees. I want to be able to meet the dispute processor. I want to be able to, talk to the customer service rep. Oh no. Now, hey Nichole.
Tell her to stop playing. Hold on.
Now I do not. Hey girls.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
I
Uh-oh.
don't want to meet them people.
Uh-oh. Oh, you say you don't want to meet them?
What people?
My employees.
You don't wait,
Oh.
stop it. Don't do that.
I don't want to meet them. Okay. Or let me say this. I don't want to be their friend. I don't want to build a relationship with them. I want to come in and be like, hey, y'all, what's going on? Here's the bonuses, introduce myself, and step out. But hell no. Because let me explain to you why. Especially, can we go there? Can we be for real, for real?
I don't know. I mean, if people would let us know in the comments if
Can
they
I
want
be
to be for real.
transparent without somebody trying to take me down? Well, I don't give a damn anyway. But can I just tell the truth and shame the devil?
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Nichole. Nothing wrong with being friendly, but I ain't your friend. What your mom used to say, I ain't one of your little friends. That's not me. I've been there and I've done it. And here's what tends to happen. When you are the CEO of your business and you have staff and employees who see you on social media, who see you able to do certain things that you worked hard for, okay, they have a sense of feeling like I'm the one who put her where she is.
Ooh.
Hangs
Ooh.
up live.
And if it wasn't for me,
Ooh.
she wouldn't be where she is.
Right.
And starting and also it's important to know that we have like a sense of we're a peer to them. Oftentimes the people that we are over in our businesses, we may be the same age, the same race, and I look like you. So there becomes that sense of entitlement, that sense of audacity. I want to play with this. I want to manipulate this. I want to see how far I can go. And you have to understand that you're not working for Arnita. You're working for A&B Credit Consultants. And you are getting paid for the value that you are bringing for every hour that you work. Not to just sit and ride the clock. And when you start trying to lay that law down, it's when people want to be upset. No, I'm not hiring low quality people. I have had some very smart people who have worked for me. Very smart, very overqualified. And some of them never know who I am until they start digging in and doing research. And it's like, oh, there are many people who have been very familiar with A&B Credit Consultants, but never knew that I was the owner. For example, Investopedia. They were familiar with A&B Credit. I mean, and Investopedia is very big. But they did not know that it was a young African American female that ran that brand. That happens a lot in the finance industry, especially when you're running corporations such as mine or such as from like accounting, oftentimes they just want the service. They don't care who's behind it. Oftentimes they just want to work for the company, but up until they see who the owner is, it becomes a problem. And let's just be honest, if I can, that doesn't happen.
Oh God.
Arnita, wait, hold on. Before you continue, Nichole,
What did
you look,
y'all just walk into?
I don't know, but you look very fresh and relaxed. Like this is the new this is the new Nichole here.
I'm looking natural. No.
You looking cute.
Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Very refreshed.
Definitely
I
refreshed.
am.
Must be that Miami weather.
It is. Today's not that. Today was rainy, but yeah. Wait, what are
Someone
y'all
said
talking about? Managing people.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
talking about managing people and managing people who we look like, managing people who we are older, who are managing people that we're younger than, and managing people who are peers to us.
so. The original question that I asked was, have you ever had someone work for you that was older than you, or even your parents' age, or even your parents? And how did you handle that dynamic? Was it an easy management situation, or was it difficult and challenging?
I feel like I have all. Hi, Boo. I have all of the above right now working with
Mm-hmm.
me, and I finally have like a good mesh going on where the respect levels are there. But it is very, very hard, especially with social media, especially if people, like Arnita said, can see you living your life, that line of managing someone, and they're watching your personal life, and then people get to looking around like, what's in it for me? But I think I've created an amazing culture with my business where they understand we're a team and we're in this, like, it's not just, and it's so weird because Ephraim didn't tell me this. Look, don't name your business your name. It's annoying. Like, because my name, even though my name is on the wall, this is about us. And if you make it about me, if I fall, we all fall. So then what is that going to do? But managing people is one of the toughest parts of running a business. Because everyone wants to act like we don't have any feelings and, oh, but you do. I don't care if you're a woman or a man, it's going to get to you and you are going to take it personal, especially a small business. It is your baby. So no one's going to show up, the way that you do. But the disrespect, especially as a small business owner, then you add on as a woman, then you add on as a Black woman, the disrespect across the board is unbearable at times, from your customers to your employees to whoever. The respect is just not there. Like,
And I chime
there's
in.
no room for error.
Can
Like,
I chime in really quickly? Nichole, can I have you ever experienced this? It's not just the disrespect that we have to deal with from our employees and you know things to that nature, but even disrespect from followers and competitors. We put a lot on our back that we don't even share on a day-to-day basis, and we just go with the flow.
yeah,
So
because
it's
we've glamorized entrepreneurship. Nobody wants to say that. It looks great, but it's still both sides. It's all on you. When you're making money, the building part, most of the time you were alone during the building part. So this it's just like the who does she think she is vibe. Like, I've turned to a positive, and I say that to myself in a positive way. But it's like I look at you, Arnita, and I want to support you up until a certain point. And then it's like, who does she think she is? And it turns at some point. I don't know what it is where we don't like to I don't even want to say it, but we don't like to see each other making money. We don't like to
you
see each
want to
other doing better.
support. There are some who want to support Black business, but not Black success.
Mm-hmm.
It's oftentimes a very thin line there.
Right.
Wait, I have a question for y'all. Because I, work with some pretty, I guess, people that have some influence on social media. One of the things that some of them tell me is that they have to create, like, they don't put, like, on a job posting, they don't put the name of their company. Do y'all do that? Do y'all put
Yeah,
like a
we
different
stopped
name?
doing that. We don't do that anymore. We used to.
I didn't even
Wait,
know people
what?
like had to do that or did that.
Like Indeed, like when we put up like our Indeed, when we're hiring and stuff, we used to put our company, but no, we hide it now.
No, I don't. That's like one of the things that I teach all the time when for help. Um, I don't really tell it in the beginning. I just say what kind of business I have, and then I ask for a paragraph about why you think you would be a good fit, and that weeds out so many people.
One person, one of my clients, she said that she had put the name of her business out there, and then a couple people showed up, and they were like, "Oh, I just wanted to meet you." I was like, "What? You
That
didn't want to?
happens a lot.
You didn't want to come for? You didn't want to get a job? You just wanted to come meet me?"
People want to see, people want to, that happens a lot, even with when you are employing somebody. And that's the thing with social media. Like, people want to peek the curtain. They
Yeah.
just want to see.
Yeah, I don't go through that, so I'm just an accountant. So it was interesting hearing that different perspective.
Oh yeah, they
You
do
know,
that. It gets wild. So no, we don't do that anymore.
man. So what is y'all's key? Because I think both of y'all, I've known y'all for a while, worked with y'all for a while, and I've seen your teams evolve over the years, and now y'all are really in a really good space
Oh
with the team
man,
that
I
you have.
have an amazing team. I love my squad. I think what has helped me with building my team is not being afraid to let people go as soon as I realize it's not working out. Like I used to feel like even if they're not doing their job, let me give them a chance. And it's only so much I can do, and I can't pamper anyone, or I can't, we can't make anyone do their job. But I think too, that's the balance because me, I'm like, hey, give somebody a chance. And Leela's like, oh no, they ain't did their job, they gotta go. Like I wrote them up, I gave them warnings, they got put on a PIP. It's not going any further than this. Um, so I'm with Gigi, definitely sooner than better. I think another thing too is working more on the ambiance of our environment. Like, how do we want the culture of our company to be? And then hiring people um that fits the culture. What about you, Nichole?
Um, Definitely same. I feel like an amazing, like, can you guys hear me? They were saying they can't hear anything. Can you hear me, Arnita?
Uh-huh.
Okay, like I love I never want to feel like I don't want to come in my office. And I have definitely experienced that when the culture isn't right in your business. And I will be damned if I am paying this high ass rent and I don't want to come in my own office. And the energy, like I have a big thing about energy and I don't like it when I'm uncomfortable. I hate being uncomfortable, and especially in my office that I know no one wants to feel that, and having those tough conversations has really been a struggle for me because I'm extremely like non-confrontational. So I had to like find that, but I don't like that. I don't want that for myself, and I don't want that for my employees.
Right.
I feel that whole non-confrontational thing, because if you're non-confrontational, then I can see how there can be friction with employees. If there's things you want to tell them, but you really don't want to offend. So
Mm-hmm.
how have you worked through that? Because Arnita, you're not confrontational either.
Mm-mm. I think with me, like I understood tone. So if I want a certain thing done, or or if there's a certain conversation that has to be held, there's a certain tone that goes with that. So also just setting down that foundation again, it goes all the way back to the environment and the culture that you're setting. So one thing about my culture at A&B Credit Consultants is we call it the A&B Credit family. Like we call this an environment because let's face it, we're around each other 8-9 hours out of the day. So I want to be able to create an environment to where if you are, having issues with work, that this is a safe place to where we can have those type of conversations. If this is a place where you need some assistance, where when it comes to being able to work effectively and efficiently in your business, allow us to be able to direct some type of resource and assistance to you. So I think for us, um, and that's why it's important. Another thing that we started to do is have new our new employees or during the application process um take personality tests. I want to know who I'm
Ooh.
working with. I want to know your personality type. So for me, when
That's a
I'm
good one.
upset, I shut down because I want to like clear my thoughts because I'm someone that typically whatever I say, it's just whatever I'm thinking is going to be the first thing that's coming out my mouth. So for me, my personality type is also someone that's really good at motivating, and I'm a cheerleader. So I'm really big at cheerleading and pumping people up. And Leela's personality, who is my operations manager, and my sister, her personality is a stern helpmate. So she aligns really well in her position based off her personality. So let's say, for example, our consultant, the personality type that we want for our credit consultant is someone that is bubbly, someone that is friendly, someone that is a conversation starter. Because when you're first signing up for our program, that is the first person that you're going to interact with. And then as far as our customer service rep, that is someone whose personality that we want them to be a quick thinker, can respond fast, can work really well in thick environments, and is a problem solver. So let's say, for example, we're hiring and someone applies for a credit consultant position, but after interviewing them, their personality type better matches with a customer care rep, then that's a job that we may offer them as opposed to, being a credit consultant. Also, with being a credit consultant, you have to understand that more than likely you're going to be on the phones all day long, from the time that you get in, from the time that you get out, and you're going to have to be very confined to your breaks and lunch, as opposed to a customer service rep. That's somebody that can move around a lot. The dispute team, that's somebody that can move around a lot. The mail room, that's somebody that can move around a lot. So even if I get somebody who, let's say, I want to apply for the mail room, but upon talking to us and you're telling me about your strengths and your weaknesses, that's important to know, because if you're somebody that's not really organized, then can you really fit in the mail room where you're distributing mail, where it's very attentive that, you're dealing with very sensitive documents and personal information. You cannot take the risk of easily mixing that up. So for me, taking personality tests has been very, very effective with our new hires. And as they grow in the business, we have them take the personality test again. Because as you grow, your personality type changes.
Good stuff. I think one reason people struggle with hiring is because a lot of people don't like people.
Look in the call.
I'm
So you
awkward
have
in
to
the
like. I mean,
beginning,
you
so it's hard. I'm very awkward, like at all times, like with everybody. My Gemini comes out, so sometimes I'm like into myself, and people can take that like the wrong way. So, um, yeah, uh, that's why I love being online.
Me too. I'm the awkward introvert, but I'm an extrovert in work settings. But outside of that, like let's say if somebody meet me, so let's say I'm really bubbly on social media because I'm on social media and y'all not really around me. But if I see you like at the store or something, I kind of get like, eh. Like, okay.
I'm terrible. Like if you say something, I forget about Instagram most of the time. So if you say something to me outside, just keep talking, because if you're like, "Oh my God, Nichole," and then I'll be like, "Happy birthday." Like I don't know what to say.
So
I
if you
saw a
don't like people, some of us may not even realize that the reason why we don't have a good relationship with our employees or it's not working out is because some of us don't like people, you
and
know.
that's when
So
you have to
and it's
put
not
people in place who does.
right, right.
Yeah, and just communication styles. Everyone is different.
Yes.
Everyone wants to feel appreciated and supported. That's like a whole nother thing, because sometimes I'm a person who can grind it out. Like I won't eat all day. I will work myself into the ground. I just have a different type of work ethic when I'm on it. Like when I have an obsessive thing, like when I'm on something. And everyone isn't like that. Like somebody needed my, I just don't understand sometimes. So I had to learn and grow with that about different people. Like, okay, maybe she needs a lunch break, or maybe this person, I can be very direct sometimes.
She needs a lunch break.
And a break, or like some people need to eat, like they need to like do things. I have amazing snacks in my refrigerator. I learned that helped in our office. I learned that people were late when there wasn't a stocked fridge. It might be a thing where your business, you might not want that, but it has helped the morale of my team when they have snacks and all type of little stuff to go to. I have a team of all women right now. It can get thick. That energy can get thick in there when somebody is on your nerves in the office, especially with a small business. And we had to go through the growing pains of like, this is not my job. That was like a thing in my office where, like as a small business, I don't think that anybody can feel like, this is not my job. Like that is the one thing that will make my like a flame go on top of my head, because even though I am the boss, I still know how to do everything within my business. So that like those tough conversations, the attitudes, like all of that had to get out of there. And it starts, especially when you guys are talking about interviews. Everybody's great in an interview. I used to get hired for everything. But once you get comfortable after that 90 days wears off, you get to see in the real person who you really
Woo!
hired.
Honey, after that 90-day probation period ends, you get the real them.
Yo, someone said I thought that was D. Everyone says I look. That's crazy. Anyway, here's something that I implemented.
What they say?
Someone said I thought that was Dwayne Wade. That's hilarious. Um, Here's something that I implemented that's been working. Right. So when we hire someone, we do a 30-day check-in evaluation, 60-day check-in evaluation, then a 90-day. Right. So the first 30 days, and y'all get your pen and papers and write this out. Not y'all two, but everyone else. The first 30 days, they're shadowing somebody. So they're not really doing any work. They're shadowing and they're watching somebody. Then you evaluate. Then the next 30 days, they are doing work, but now they're being shadowed. And the last 30 days, they're on their own. And then you evaluate. And then 90 days, hopefully,
Oh,
they've gotten integrated with what you're doing. And if they haven't, then it may not be a good fit. But at least you're communicating throughout the whole time. And you know where they're at mentally, and are they enjoying everything? Are they coming along with their work? So I got that tip on Clubhouse when I was back on there heavy, and I implemented it, and it's been working out pretty well.
you got to fire fast, like if it's not a good
Yeah.
fit, because it's like a cancer in your business. Like it will spread so quickly to everyone else. And that's like been one of the hardest things. I remember Ephraim telling me that. But I love like my employees. Like
Ephraim
we're a
used to
small
tell
team.
me the same thing. And you know what is so interesting about that is it had got so bad with me keeping people that I should have let go a long time ago. It really started to affect my business. Really,
It
really,
does.
like it's so important to just let them go. And it's
And rock stars, like how he kept telling me to hire rock stars. It's been life changing. Like I have rock stars on my team, and it's just like your business just grows more and more the better people that you
yeah,
have. But we have it where you can't expect us, not even like that, but you just can't expect certain things from certain people. Like sometimes somebody can be an intern and they can grow, but hiring professionals, there's nothing like it.
I agree.
I'm just happy that Nichole actually listens whenever I speak.
I
That's
do
amazing.
listen, but you are hard. Like you're so hard sometimes because
Really?
I
Okay.
can't figure
Whoever
out.
works with me that's in this chat, let me
Report
know in the
now.
comments.
Yes, please. If you work with Ephraim, if you were a client of Ephraim, please report to the
Let me
comment
know.
section
Because everyone,
because
you and Arnita have been saying this, and I'm like, I didn't even realize that was the
Ephraim
case.
is stern.
Stern, you feel like it's not even your money anymore. It's actually, I
Yes,
don't know whose money it is, but it's not yours.
yes.
And the guilt is just like there.
Explain this.
And there's Ephraim is telling you the right thing to do, but it's hard. So I don't
Really,
know.
Oh, the
Monty?
full Monty
Come on,
said
Monty.
very. High
Uh,
five.
Yes.
I knew he wasn't alone in this. But I
Yeah,
love him
it's
to death.
hard.
Like he has truly saved my business. He businesses has grown my businesses. I mean, he is, and not just that, every person that I have referred him to has been like, oh my gosh, where, like, my beautician, like I referred my beautician to him. And when I went and got my hair done last week, she was like, oh my gosh, where has he been? I mean, last month. She was like, where has he been all my life? Like, I'm seeing
No,
so
Ephraim will
many
definitely get your life together. I was just
dramatic
telling my boo,
changes.
he needs to
Yo,
get
got me to
everybody's life
got
together.
me together.
But on the flip side, when you're not together, it's like you don't even want to talk to him. It's like this lurky shadow that's behind you. That like when he talks to me in the DMs, I'm just like, I know. Has he been looking at my stuff? Like Ephraim makes everybody feel like they're gonna go to jail on his story. Every time he starts posting those stories, I always feel like I'm about to go to jail. Oh, they said, what do I mean by rock stars? I'm talking about people who show up and they love what they do and they're professionals. Like, there's nothing like hiring professionals. Ephraim said something to me that I almost fell over. And people have said it to me before because I don't even, sometimes you can't see yourself. You can't see the forest for the trees. And he's like, your business is too big for you to be hiring amateurs. And it was like why would you be at this level and hire amateurs? And sometimes even when it comes down to him, sometimes you're cheap. Like you can't be cheap with certain things because you end up paying twice.
I agree.
And when I say rock stars, I'm talking about sometimes it's worth it. There, you might have to pay that person an excellent salary, but they will make your business excellent and take you to a whole new level. I wouldn't know what to do without my girls.
And I think it's like a breath of fresh air. Like it just feels like an entire load is off. And I just think it's amazing to be able to have a business that you don't have to go in every day. Like, and we're only able to do that off of the strength of rock stars, like Nichole called them. Like, I don't have to check in. I cannot tell you the last time I worked in my business like that. I mean, besides doing the creative stuff and the stuff that I enjoy doing, but the actual like operations part of the business, I have not done that in maybe since 2015.
Yeah, making that list. I had to make a list of everything that I loved and everything that I hated and everything that I was on the hate part. You have to delegate that.
You
And
have to
I take that
delegate.
as into, girl, you said that the other day with you not domestic. Look, that goes into my personal life as well. Everything I love and everything I hate. Why would I'm not about to be busting these suds when I could be making money or doing something creative that I love. No, no, not doing it.
And I think the great thing too about, putting yourself in position like this is to finally be able to do the things that you have, paved the way for yourself to do. And, that is really flexibility and freedom. And when I first started my business, my assumption was, or my thought process was, I had to work in my business every single day in order for my business to operate, until I started being around people who were like, I don't work in my business. I work alongside of it. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? You mean to tell me you're not doing, the dispute process, and you're not doing consultations, you're not doing customer service? And they're like, no, we hire people to do that. And I'm like, wait, you hire people to do that? So even
I think
shifting
there's
my
seasons
mindset,
though.
huh?
There's seasons for that. I think there's definitely depends on
Absolutely.
the industry you're in, and there's definitely seasons. Because one thing I don't agree with this whole like Instagram meme of, oh, if it's too much, self resting, like you're gonna have to grind it. Everybody I know who has a great story, you're gonna have to put in the grind. There's the grind
Have
season,
to.
and you can't avoid it. Everybody tries to buy the courses. Everybody's trying to buy an ebook, trying to figure out how they can avoid the grind and the broke part. That's
But
the
why do
part
you
where
think they're
the best
trying to do
part.
that? Or why do you think they get that self gratification and trying to skip the process? Do you think that's not talked about enough?
Yes, because people are not honest about the process. They're not going to tell you that the sacrifices that you will have to make in it, spiritually, financially, emotionally, that you're going to have to give your business if you're really doing it. Not everybody is building a business. Some people are funded. There's a huge difference between bootstrapping versus having loans and all type of stuff.
Wait, how
There's
how
a
can I
difference,
get funded?
huh?
How can I get funded? I'm trying to be
You
funded
are the
too.
fund now, okay?
That part. I don't even know
There's a
why he
huge
playing.
difference. There's a huge difference in your personal life. We're all like, if people are talking about me sharing the love story now, and I'm sharing it because I want to show people the difference. Like, it's hard as hell, especially if you're doing it yourself. You, we've all been broke before. Making something out of nothing is totally different. When you are supported, it is a totally different grind. I know knowing your personal life is taken care of and having a business is way different than taking care of your business and your personal life. It is a huge strain and it is very hard, and not enough people talk about it.
So how has the adjustment been for you from being a self-made entrepreneur, a single self-made entrepreneur, moving to being an entrepreneur who is now in a relationship? How did you adjust?
I'm ooh, lightning.
Or or
That's
just
a,
Um,
that's
date?
that's a good question, because if your business isn't really organized, then you kind of, how do you do it? How do you spend time with that significant other, and you're still grinding and
I
stuff,
had
and
just
you
put up a
you
post
you figured it
and
out?
somebody said something about us both being on our phones, and I know that that's a whole different that's a whole different live. Like, everyone acts like they want a boss until you get one, and she's not going to put her phone down, and you're not going to leave the office until you're done, and you're not going to, I've always had that question where, it feels like you love your business more than you love me, and it's like,
I know you love me more.
don't, it's apples and oranges. Like, you can't compare my business. It's the Madonna vibes. Like, my business isn't going to wake up tomorrow and say I don't love you anymore. Like, I know that was a big thing for me. Like, but I think it happened at the right time, because I used to question it, like being lonely and looking out the window, like, what is all this for? Like, why am I grinding
hmm
this hard? Why am I making these sacrifices when my friends can get up and go to happy hour and have this amazing life, and even, exes and stuff, like they can get off of work at a set time and have a totally different life than me. What is all of this for if I'm going to have all this emptiness? But I don't think that I would have been able to build what I've built if I was focused on um, the love life like that. But I do believe that you can have it all, because there's nothing like being happy, and we all deserve that
hmm
happiness.
Yes, it's very important. Happiness is very, and peace is so important, and being loved on properly.
Properly, hello, you become 10
Like
times
I
you
try to
become 10
tell
times the woman.
I try to tell the girls, especially those who feel like they have to be alpha women, alpha females, run your business like you run your relationship. Oh no, that is not how my household is ran. That's not how my marriage is ran. I know I'm a badass boss in
But I don't want to be,
my
for me, I don't
business,
want to be that at home.
but
We just
baby,
talked
I
about
am
that.
just this vulnerable, gullible, little spoiled brat in
Lover girl, we
my
just said this at dinner.
marriage. I'm
I
like
don't want to be a man at home. Like, I don't want to
no.
be a man when I get off. I don't want to make all these decisions. I don't want to be that person. I'm that at work, and I want to be dainty and loved upon. And I feel like women, um, the boss
I want to
girl
be like
narrative
the
or whatever.
like it's the little I don't know for me. Like it's crazy. I still blush when I think about my husband and dude literally I see the dude every day. But I don't know. For me, it's just a blessing to have like that whole thing. Like at one point in time, I didn't think that I needed to be in a relationship because I never saw a healthy one and I had never been in one. And I don't want a struggle relationship. I don't want a struggle marriage. I don't want it to be, oh, he gotta cheat on me and we gotta go through some stuff. I'm like, man, I don't want to do that. I want peace. And when I have to deal with all of the crazy stuff like outside of the world, like I want my husband to be my peace. Like I want that to be my support system. I want that to be I mean, I don't want to be the man, like you said, in my relationship. Like I don't want to be that. I want to feel protected in my relationship. And it was so crazy because when me and Corey was dating, I didn't think I would ever be married. And I remember my homegirl got married July of 2015. And she was someone who was very much like me and was like, girl, I ain't get married. Boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm in my career. And when she called me one day, was like, girl, I'm engaged. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she was like, and I'm about to get married. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember at her wedding, I was like, it was a totally new Adrian. Like she did not look, she just looked very dainty and feminine. And I said, now I wasn't there yet. I wasn't in that space yet. And I said, oh my gosh, you know, you're going to wake up to this man for the rest of your life every day. Like, are you sure you want to do this? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, that's interesting. And I just remember saying, oh, girl, that's real cute for you. But I just can't see myself doing nothing like that until the right one came along. And I found myself ready to rush down the aisle to do the same exact thing, and it'll be 6 years in November. So I really do feel like having a great mate also makes running a business a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, because it's something like,
Agreed.
and I like the Solange vibes. Like I tried to work it away, like, and then you grow. That's another conversation. Your relationships change across the board when you're having a business. Your friendships will change, your romantic relationships will change. Everything changes so much, and it's like
So
finding the
how did
right
that change
people.
for you?
With what? Which one?
Like just having to adapt to those changes. Like, and I'm oftentimes um as as we change, there may be some of our friends who are growing faster or slower, you know. So let's say at the time that you're in your business, you're single, but you're grinding and you're like, okay, what am I doing this for? But then you may have a friend who was working, single, and grinding just like you, and now she's in a relationship. And now so is
Well,
your other friend and your other friend. So how did, if that happened to you,
that
how did
that
you
was
deal with it?
that was definitely a moment for me. I was in a relationship where, sometimes we can be loyal to time, and I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
happy anymore. And but I have this person who I love very much, and I'm loyal to out of time, but we were just growing apart. And I watched my friend get a divorce. This is all in the same relationship. I had a long-term relationship. I watched her get divorced. I watched this girl date and get engaged, and I was watching it. I was going to weddings, and I'm going to baby showers, and I'm like, girl, if you don't make room for this, it's not going to happen for you. And just like you did this for your business, you can have it. And when someone had asked me, like, we talk about the prayers or whatever, but I talked about surrendering. Like, I made a list of everything I wanted, and I stopped worrying about it. I stopped looking for it, and I just gave it all to God because it was too much for me. Like it just was too much. Like January, I was like severely depressed, and it was just too much for me. So I just was like, here, we all talk about, we post those Shopify numbers and we post these things, and it looks all good, but the emptiness is real. I don't care how much money you get. I haven't got probably my dream house, but we chase these things and we have this checklist, and you think like, I'm going to be happy when I get here. And, when I get this car, then I'll be happy. When I get to this level in my business, then I'll be happy. When I get this article, then I'll be happy. No, it's then the emptiness starts coming back, and I had to work on loving myself, and I just gave it to God, and then baby just showed up, and it's either this or something better, and I think I deserve it all. And I wouldn't have these dreams and I wouldn't have these visions placed upon my life if God didn't want it for me. So that's what
Amen.
we all have to focus on, and that's why I share it, because we need to see it. And yeah, that's just it. But yeah, I saw my friends, and I wasn't about to be Auntie Nichole alone. With the cats
So
in my cat
has
suit.
it taken has it taken some time for your supporters to adapt to this new Nichole?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I have 90% love, 10% hate. Especially, I don't get how you can see someone and be upset. Then, we talked about it before about, what do you share? When you have something so sacred, we have this vibe of like, oh, don't tell anybody. No, I don't, no, this is so beautiful. And I'm so happy that you guys have been there before, where you want to scream into the world like, I love you, like but, and that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to wake up every day of my life, and I'm going to make this world more beautiful, and I'm going to do what's on my heart, and whatever someone else is feeling about it, that's on
Yay.
them. So y'all gonna get these boob pictures till I don't feel like it no more.
And man, when I say glow, like Nichole is glowing. Like I ain't never seen you like this.
That's
Like,
one thing we don't like to see. Like, why don't we like to see people loved on? And why don't we like to see people making money? I want to see you. I I just posted that the other day. Like, we don't like cocky women, but I feel like pop your shit, sis. Like, I want to see it. I want the somebody son vibes. Because then, how are we supposed to know it's possible? The media is not going to show it to us. We have
right.
women killing themselves to look like this perfect image. We have everybody
Mhm.
chasing money. What is it, like the 1%? Everybody, you can be just as happy at your job, getting off at 6 and going home to your kids and your man. Like, entrepreneurship and a boss and a man who buys you Birkins, and it's not real. Like, when I say we belly laugh up in here, we belly laugh, and it's amazing.
Love is amazing.
That's all. Relationships are everything.
The right ones. And I think too is, you know, we women and men have to speak more life into ourselves and discuss with ourselves more of what we deserve, because sometimes we do or can get to a space where we feel like we don't deserve certain things, especially in the very beginning. And I know I probably, can't speak for y'all, but chime in. It's difficult kind of coming into not so much and then walking into abundance, and nobody really talks about the deservance part of it. Like, I work this hard, but literally mentally in your mind and your heart connecting to, I deserve this because I have earned this. And not just being successful in business, but also in love. Like, we sometimes feel like, are we really capable of fulfilling what our hearts desire? And I think that's not talked about as much in the entrepreneur world. It's like, here's my success, like you said, here's my Shopify dashboard. This is how much I made. But okay, so is this mine to spend? And I don't know if Ephraim ever remembered this, but I remember it was 2015. And when he called and was like, how does it feel, to be a 7-figure earner? And I'm like, oh, and he was like, okay, and this how much you profit, like this how much you can spend. And I was like, that's mine? Like, you sitting there looking at that number, but then you also got to keep in mind, like 3 years prior, I was just on Section 8. So you mean to tell me that, and again, color me pretty, that's a really good one. You manifest this. And even some of the things that we manifest and we cry about and we pray about, and even when we put in that work and God bless us with it, sometimes mentally our mind just doesn't catch up.
I had to stop doing that, like even just newly dating and then getting into a relationship and doing all the things. I had to stop doing that because I was looking for something to be wrong. Every day it just felt too good, and it was just like,
Yes.
well, I'm waiting for it. Barbara gonna come and talk to me about Shirley or whatever's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. Every day I was just like, oh, like, well, this, just waiting for something. And no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to enjoy it. Wherever this journey is like taking me. Even with my business, I would work myself to the ground and to the bone every day because I felt like tomorrow it might all be over. Like, what if they stop shopping? What if today, what happens if this happens? And you're creating that for yourself. And I had to stop. I just
Yes.
had to stop that. Like, no. But what if it doesn't? What if it's amazing?
Right. Yeah. I
And then you're in
mean,
Miami on a whole 3-week date.
girl, as soon as I found my guy, honey, 2 months later, he got me pregnant. He was like, nope.
Ooh.
It's time to get married and solidify the marriage, and you become a mom of 5. Like, my life went so, and I think that's too, like, something that we have to adapt to. Like, I went from being a single mom to being married to pregnant with twins to now being a mom of 5. Like, and still be a business owner.
Yes,
Like,
that's what the
that
girl do.
doesn't change. Like, that's a whole adaptment there, but I love it and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm also just grateful and blessed that, I'm in position to be an entrepreneur, but be able to spend as much time with my family as I want whenever I get ready to. Like, if I don't thank God for anything else, trust me, it is not about the money, although it's amazing and I love it. But I love being able to spend time with my husband and kids, just sitting here watching them do crazy stuff, or, us laugh and
Belly
joke
laughs at
around.
home. It's
Huh?
everything you can't, like, belly laughs. That's what I want. I want
Yes.
belly laughs. And you can really have it, but that's where it starts. We just talked about believing it for yourself. Like, we don't we don't see it all the time. I know people don't talk about it enough because I had a whole praise moment in my car and I was just like, this is amazing. I love it here. But it's like, you don't want to act too happy because I don't want nobody trying to come in my man's DMs trying to get some of my happiness. But but it doesn't even matter because what for you is for you until you really believe that and start moving like that. That's when everything changes because you have to make room for it. And I wasn't making room for it before.
So, Ephraim, have you shared the news from when you went to
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
get
yeah. I shared it on Facebook, but I actually need to make that post either today or tomorrow. But yeah, yeah.
What? I want to know the news.
So our business hit 7 figures.
Oh, I saw that. Amazing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
amazing. And you
yeah,
have an
yeah.
amazing wife and amazing boys.
That's why I haven't really been speaking much. Someone said, "What about Ephraim?" But there's total mayhem going on in my house right now. See, people always say, "Why do you go why do you jump on IG Live so late?" It's because that's when everyone's asleep and I can focus on the actual conversation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah, it was we hit 7 figures. I mean, it's been an amazing accomplishment. Not
in a
just
service-based business, may I add, which people often say can't happen or usually doesn't happen.
right. Yeah,
He
and it's
didn't.
not even it's not even the money necessarily. I mean, that's good, but it's really about everything that you had to deal with during the pandemic. 2 kids that are real young. You're running business, and they're right here beside you. It just all kinds of craziness happening, you know. And we found a way. God is good. You know, He helped us get there, and now, you know, it's like, okay, what's next?
And you know,
But
it used to
I
be.
will say that y'all two have been like some of the biggest inspirations in us even getting there, because, you know, seeing y'all get there beforehand, like you said, in 2015, Arnita, you got there. Nichole, 2017, literally in 9 months, in her first year in business, she hit it.
8
So
months.
when I, huh?
8 months.
8 months.
Oh, excuse us. Excuse.
8 months, right? So seeing y'all do that, it's like, okay, I can do this too. Like, it's actually possible,
And then
you
check
know?
this out. It took me 8 years to do what she did in 8 months.
Right.
So
Yeah, but
again, it's all about time.
everyone is on a different journey, and then the
Exactly.
sacrifices, like you have to lose everything. Like I had to lose everything. I had to build it all up all over again. Like um and then even with that, like you're actually even with that, you can do that, and then everyone's different. I haven't had a 6-figure day yet.
Hey,
I've been just
Ashley.
under that, but you watch it and it's like, okay, I might not have had a 6-figure day yet, but I have 5-figure days consistently. So would I rather have that or one 6-figure day? So
Right.
everyone is on a different journey, and you just have to keep going. But I I feel inspired by it. Oh wait, actually I think I have had one. It's like to the point now where you're like, it's the goals just get different at some point. Like it's more of like a, what am I keeping out of this? What am I doing? Like totally different.
The circle is so important. It's so important
Yes.
to surround yourself with people that are, you know, obviously you have friends, but then you have your business friends that are trying to elevate and get to that next
And at
level.
home. And at home. Because
And
I
at
know
and
me and
at home.
baby, we pop our shit. What we doing today? You wanna battle? Like let's turn the Shopify's on and we could battle. How many books did you sell today? Like, I've always wanted
Mm,
that, but I didn't think it could really happen. And I got somebody who's with the shits too. Like, oh, okay. Like he's all the way with it. So
Now
we're
y'all
gonna
know I'm being
battle.
there about the break dance.
We be battling in here. Like, okay, well, what'd you do? What you doing today? Oh, okay, well, let's see who gets there first. And that's and it's amazing. And to have friends that you can have these conversations with, and you know that it's coming and it's going to be your turn.
right.
That's the part, because you can't have these conversations with everybody,
No,
especially depending on where they are in the journey, on their journey.
I agree. I
Right.
agree. And it's like certain conversations is considered bragging, when you're not in the circle of the right people. And it's like this
It's
is
true.
like common to us now, but it wasn't before. Let's say that. This wasn't our normal at one point in time. But now that it is, I wouldn't have it any other way. And to be honest, I don't know any other way. Like, it's crazy
You
that
can't
I
go back
mean,
now. You can't
right.
go
I ain't
back
going back to that. Like,
now.
and you know what's so crazy about the fear? Because this is the fear that I used to have. I gotta keep working because I don't want to be broke. I gotta keep working because I don't want to go back to Section 8. I gotta keep working because I don't want to. And I never forget, I was talking to Miss Bling Miami, like sweet, sweet friend. And I remember one day we were talking, and she was like, "But you know too much to ever go back to that anyway." So even if
Mm.
you were to lose it all, you know too much to not ever go back
I had to learn that because I
to
was
being where
crippled
you were
by
it
it.
was.
I definitely was crippled by it.
Well, Alec hadn't told on you yet because he hasn't come in here. So how did he try to tell on you? He hadn't even come in here yet. You beat him to it. So what did you do for him to attempt to tell on you? Okay, well, go back to your room. What's in your mouth? Throw it away. Quit chewing on paper. Okay, goodbye.
Y'all, I gotta run. The phone's about to die. All that good stuff. We gotta do this again.
Yes. You guys have an
Indeed.
amazing night.
All right, bye, y'all. Y'all have a great evening.
Bye.
Hey,
All right, y'all
bye.
take care.